close that back out. Alright, so if you go here, alright, so now you're gonna go edit, and then you can crop these images down to size. Right? And then you do like a save copy. Don't hit save because it'll overwrite the court PDF that you saved as a PNG. You don't want to do that. You want to do a save copy, and then name it side view. You know, CIR side view or whatever. And then create that one, and then you're gonna do that for all the photos. Oops. Alright, so now one of the issues with this is the valence photo is compressed. So actually I think this is the one that I corrected. And that one's also been corrected. Alright, let me go do it just for the heck of it. Wait, no, I do have that compressed right here, this one. Alright, so see how I got that circled there? Alright, so if I go to open with paint, I'm going to show you how to correct that. Alright, so what you're going to do is you're going to click this to resize it, and then you see this right here, you're going to unselect that, and then we're going to change that to 150, and then boom, it's fixed, right? Alright, so once you have all your images, we can go into the AI and start having to analyze these. And then if you know, I went on Mark's B channel. Mark B has a YouTube channel where he did some visual analysis and on the green car. So I have those screenshots, so I'm going to use them in part of my AI analysis. So once you got all your photos, you can start doing this. Alright, so now I'm going to go to Microsoft Edge. Oh, see how it's set up for quick response? This is important. You want it to be in think deeper mode. And then alright, so I circled that in paint because I want the AI just to focus on that area. Alright, so I'm going to ask it, can you analyze this photo, the CIR image actually, for retroreflective areas. Related to the potential presence of a front license plate. We're not looking for the shape because it automatically tries to do that. Just the retro reflection. color security cam. Image in color night mode under intense IR illumination, and we'll see what it does. Captured, see, based on the visual details, the key observation centers on the region highlighted with the yellow outline in CIR images captured under intense IR illumination. Retroreflective materials like those typically found on front license plates tend to produce strong, localized bright spots. Here's a detailed analysis focused solely on the reflections. The outline area exhibits a distinctly high intensity reflection compared to the surrounding regions. This concentrated burst of brightness is what you would expect from a retroreflective surface exposed to strong IR light. The way the IR light bounces back from the surface often exceeding the brightness of diffuse reflections suggest an element that has a high retroreflective coefficient. In forensic evaluation, such as a pronounced bright spot is typical evidence supporting the idea that a retroreflective surface like that of a license plate is present. So I'm not going to read all this to you, but you know, it obviously sees it. I've done this like, I don't know, 20, 30 times now. No, these are crappy images, but the fact that the AI is seeing this in the crappy images, trust me, when we get the real video and we get real software doing that analysis, it's only gonna see it even better. It's not gonna get worse. It's not like it's not gonna see it. Besides that, if I go in there and I open that file, I mean, tell me you can't see that. You see that? Right? There's like an outline right there, and then you got the Idaho, the red stripe for the Idaho right there. You can't see that? If you can't, you're blind. This red hues and glare, that is a different color than this. This is like, it's more like a purple, where this is more red. And then you can see the green hues. Actually, the pink is actually not really typical for a white paint color. Usually a cool paint color such as lime green creates that hue under IR light and in color imaging. Alright, so I'm gonna add some more photos. Let's see here, image 1A. Alright. This is a fuller-sized picture of the same image. Look in the same area for the presence of the plate, of the front plate. Now what I'm trying to get it to do is tell you exactly where it's seeing it. Reveals consistency with the earlier observations. The circled region area still exhibits a distinct localized brightness that is consistent with the kind of retroreflective seen in the IR source. Illuminates high reflectivity surface such as a license plate. Here's a detailed breakdown. The yellow circled area maintains a centralized burst of what's odd is it's saying the yellow circled area. Sometimes it refers back to the other image and then refers to the new one. So it could be talking about the other one, but the yellow circled area maintains a concentrated burst of brightness compared to its immediate surroundings. The brightness is what you would expect from retroreflective materials when exposed to intense IR illumination, such as concentrated saturated spot, is often indicative of a retroreflective surface. Even if, due to resolution constraints, the finer details aren't fully resolvable. Consistency with reflective behavior. The high-grade license plates are designed to reflect IR light efficiently. In this image, the intensity profile within the circled zone suggests a reflective behavior typical of these materials. Reflection appears as a nearly saturated patch, supporting the possibility that the area contains retroreflective elements, though the lack of sharpness prevents a definitive confirmation. We know that's like impossible. As with the previous image, the blurriness and low resolution. Okay, so now it's talking about the new one. While the bright spot is strongly suggestive of a retro. Right, let me go back here. As the previous image, the blurriness and low resolution complicate a conclusive analysis, while the bright spot is strongly suggestive of a retroreflective material. Other reflective surfaces, such as nearby metallic elements, could, in theory, produce similar effects. To further this analysis, intensive image processing like contrast enhancement, deblurring, or histogram analysis. So there you guys go. If you guys want to play with this further, you can do all these things yourselves. I don't need to do this any further. I mean, it's obviously seeing it. In summary, the full review confirms that the area of interest continues to display a pronounced IR-induced brightness that aligns with the known behavior of retroreflective materials, although the current image quality, blah 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 blah. Alright, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab this car. Okay, this is a daylight photo of a lime of a very important custom lime green color Elantra. 2014 to 2016 model years. The license plate is deformed and wrapped in a non-traditional mounting location. Also, note the top reflections of this paint coating. we'll see what the AI has to say about that. Let's break down available details from the daylight photo you provided. Deformed non-traditional mounting of the license plate. Rather than the typical flat horizontal application, the license plate here appears to be set in a way that causes it to wrap or curve with the vehicle's body. This kind of mounting deformation alters the way the light interacts with its surface instead of a single uniform reflection. Do you understand what it just got done saying? So what it's saying there is the way the light interacts with that surface under CIR imaging, that really screws things up, okay? So it makes it very hard for software to detect it. So once you tell the AI what's going on, it's gonna be able to see those things better, more easily. So instead of a single uniform reflection, you observe multiple reflective angles. The curved profile can create subtle specular. I'm starting to sound like Pob. Highlights, bright spots that vary across the plate's surface depending on the incident angle of the daylight. This fragmented reflective behavior is common when a surface isn't planar and can actually serve as an indirect indicator of a non-standard installation, which might have been deliberately chosen for aesthetic reasons, or to conform to the vehicle's custom design. Top reflection of the custom paint coatings. The vehicle sports a custom lime green finish that typically comes with a high gloss top coat. Under daylight conditions, a well polished or glossy finish will often produce pronounced specular reflections. In this image, aside from the license plate reflective signature, there is also a clear intense reflection at the upper section of the panel. This top reflection is most likely the glare from the paint's glossy. The reason I'm asking it to note that is because we're going to compare this here in a minute. Implications for forensic analysis. The combined effect of non-traditional mounting and the bright paint means that what might typically be interpreted as a straightforward license plate retroreflection is now overlaid with additional optical effects. In this scenario, using daylight imagery introduces additional complexity because the glossy finish creates extensive specular highlights that can mask or blend with the plate's signal. To tease these elements apart, targeted imaging processing such as isolating specific regions with intensity, profiling, or applying localized contrast. So basically what it's telling you here is it can see the difference. It's telling you that it's seeing the difference, right? In summary, the daylight photo confirms that the area previously investigated under IR remains complex. The license plate deformed wrap configuration produces regular high-intensity reflections, while the custom lime green paint's gloss contributes to an additional broader specular highlight from the top section. These overlapping reflections require further targeted image enhancement to clearly isolate the license plate from that of the custom paint coating. Alright. So now I want you to compare this image and what is the probability that this car in the daylight is the same vehicle in the CIR image. So let's break it down, comparisons, and weigh the evidence. In the CIR image, the highly localized bright spot in the region corresponding to the front license plate stands out. When intense IR light or illumination hits a reflective surface, such as retroreflective license plate, it creates a distinct, nearly saturated flash. Even though the CIR image has inherent limitations, blurriness and resolution constraints, the intensity and location of the reflection are consistent with what would one expect from a model license plate. In this case, the reflection aligns well with the anticipated zone for license plate, even if its precise shape is less discernible. Unique characteristics in the daylight photo. The daylight image shows a custom lime green Hyundai Elantra 2014-2016 with a very distinctive license plate mounting. The plate is deformed and wrapped in a non-traditional fashion, which is far less common. Understand what that just said, right? It's not very common, and therefore serves as a strong identifier. Additionally, the painting's reflective properties, the bright top reflection from the custom paint, add another layer of evidence. A vehicle with such unique aesthetics modification, especially the unusual plate installation, is strategically less likely to be misidentified among different vehicles. The bright spot, or the bright localized reflection in the CIR image falls in the same physical area where the license plate is mounted as seen in the daylight photograph. The non-standard mounting observed in the daylight image provides a structural detail that could easily translate into the corresponding IR signature. The way the plate wraps or curves around lead to variations in brightness that are captured under intense IR illumination. Their overall vehicle design, custom painted lime green Hyundai Elantra from the model year 2014-2016 has a strong contextual cue, even if the CIR image is of lower quality. Matching a set of unique characteristics like this significantly increases the likelihood that they are of the same vehicle. Based on these factors, the precise location and reflective nature of the signature in the CIR images, combined with the unusual license plate mounting and distinctive vehicle attributes in the daylight photo, the probability that both images capture the same vehicle is very high. In a forensic context and taking into account image quality limitations and the uniqueness of the mounting configuration, I would estimate roughly an 85-90% likelihood that the vehicle in the CIR images is the same one shown. Alright, so now I'm going to add the other images. Fortunately, I'm going to try. It always wants to say something anytime you upload it, so I'm going to try to tell it to just stand by. I have, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. I have 4 images I need to upload one by one. Sure thing, Matt. Okay, so now there's one. One thing I like about Gemini is that I can upload more than one image at a time. almost done. And it's thinking. Scene context and vehicle visibility. The image is dominated by a demolition scene. So, I mean, check this out. It literally detected that there's a demolition scene in the background. Tell me that this is not seeing that plate. A house under demolition by an excavator while a green car is visibly in the foreground, although the composition is complex due to the ongoing demolition, blah blah blah. Summary and next step. At this point, the evidence is suggestive rather than definitive. The vehicle's green correlation is consistent with the earlier custom line green Elantra, however, without clear blah blah blah. I would rate the likelihood that this is the same vehicle as moderate contention. Alright, so I didn't really pick out the infrared. Alright, so okay. First two of these new images are CIR images of the same car. And the first CIR images under the same conditions. The second two are daylight photos of the same lime green car. What is now the probability that the daylight images are of the vehicle are the same vehicle in the CIR images. Hey, why is it doing that? The new CIR images maintain the same localized, intense retroreflective spot where we'd expect the front license plate. The daylight images capture the custom line green car combined. Alright, so now it just upped it to 90 to 95% of the same. It was 80 to 90, now it's 90 to 95. Alright, so now one last question. Or no. Alright, so now I'm going to ask it. Okay. What is the probability that the CIR images are of Brian Kohlberger's vehicle as described in reports? Note that it did not have a front license plate at the time that these photos were taken, the CIR images are of the Ridge Road security cam images from the court documents. That's weird it's doing this now. I didn't do that before. Oh, based on the latest details and comparisons, there are a few critical factors to consider. Probability and assessment. Given this pivotal inconsistency, the probability that the CIR images are of Brian Kober's vehicle drops significantly, even if a few other aspects like size, shape, or color might superficially appear similar, being the white that everybody thinks, oh, it's white. It can't be anything else but white because it's color. The conflict regarding the front license plate is a forensic red flag. In my estimation, the probability is very low, likely in the range of 5 to 10%. That's actually pretty unlikely that the observed CIR images of the Ridge Road security cam are of Brian Kober's vehicle as described in the reports. Alright, so I'm going to ask it one last question. Can you explain why it's important to instruct you to look for when analyzing license plates? Focusing on retroreflective areas is crucial for several reasons. License plates are designed with retroreflective coatings to ensure they reflect light, especially under low light or IR illumination, so they can be easily read in a variety of conditions. This means that when you instruct me to look for retroreflective areas, I'm zeroing in on a unique material characteristic that sets license plates apart from other surfaces. This concentrated reflection acts as a forensic fingerprint of the plate. So AI is 1,000% capable of seeing license plate data. Enhanced clarity and challenging lighting in images captured under challenging lighting conditions, such as though from CIR cameras or at night. The overall image might be blurry or obscured by ambient reflections. Retroreflectivity, however, produces a very bright, localized highlight that stands out even when other details are compromised. By focusing on these areas, we reduce the risk of misidentifying or overlooking the license plate due to the environmental noise. Forensic consistency and competence when comparing images, for example, matching a security camera. Stop that! Matching a security camera capture with daylight images targeting the retroreflective response provide a reliable point of comparison because the retroreflective property is inherent to the material and its engineered purpose. Engineered purpose. Anyone that thinks AI can't do this just doesn't understand tech. Observing this feature lends stronger support to any identification or correlation between images. Without this focus, the analysis might be diluted by other reflective artifacts that aren't specific to a license plate. So, like, if you have like a badge that's like chrome on the front, that can fool the AI. So when you have things like that, take that into consideration and tell it where those things are, so it's not looking at them, or circle them and say, anything circled, don't look here, because that's an emblem, or tell it what it is. But the idea is to try to get the AI to tell you what it sees, not what you're telling it you want it to see. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's what I've done here. Like I said, I've done this probably 30 times. I mean, I've had it literally tell me, oh yeah, it's wrapped around the front lower valance on the front of the car. So I was hoping it would tell us that this time, but it didn't. But it's good enough. I think I've driven us across pretty good. In summary, instructing me to look for retroreflective areas ensures the analysis is directed toward the most salient, distinguishing features of a license plate. This not only improves the accuracy of the identification process, but also bolsters the forensic reliability of the conclusions drawn from the images. Alright. Now, additionally, the AI will not look for license plate numerical data. So it'll just, if you try to get it to give you numbers, it won't do that. It's programmed not to. So if you tell it that you're just looking for the presence, you don't care about what numbers or anything on it. We're just looking for that retroreflective area. Just to prove the presence. And in this case, this is all we need, because Brian's car did not have a front license plate, and this is saying that these images have a front license plate. So I'm gonna conclude this video. If you are a creator, I have zero reach. I'm gonna create a brand new channel just to post this. This isn't gonna reach anybody. So if you are a YouTube creator and you want to use this video, feel free to do so. That's why I'm making it. I am making it for you. Alright, so I am gonna conclude the video. Thanks for watching.